Welcome to the fish tank.
Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to another video. Today's video, I am going to continue Wednesdays. I want to do some more filter comparisons, and I thought today's video should cover filters that are a lot more common to like a general small fish room, and ones you're probably quite familiar with, and that is internal filtration systems. Now I know this isn't internal technically, it's a planter filter. I just wanted to show mostly the progress that it's been undergoing. It's doing really well, actually too well. I've already pruned it back once. It's kind of a cool, I like it's the high humidity one I made with the extra cover on it, and it is doing extremely well. Two of the plants are overgrowing the Anubias, but I'm going to try and prune them back and see how the Anubias is doing underneath all that. I just have to find time to get around to that. Now this does actually tie into today's topic, because this particular filter is being supplied water by this under gravel filter. And under gravel filters are actually really kind of cool. This one's been running for some time now. There's no real mulm buildup yet underneath, which is the original reason why I had set these up, to see how long that would take. The great thing about under gravel filters is they require pretty much no maintenance. This thing I haven't touched since I set it up. It does run, like I said, it does go up and run this, which is kind of a little cheat, I suppose, and it does extra. I do have another one running still, and the only surprise I found is you can see right there, those are baby guppies. Apparently when they're born, they're small enough to fit through the little pieces of gravel, and they do end up in here, and at some point in time I'm going to have to try and find a way of fishing them out of here. The shrimp are fine. I mean, I actually am kind of happy that they're in there. They'll eat the little bits of algae that grow and keep it all nice and clean. Now the downside of this style of filter, it's not true for all under gravel filters, but they don't really have what I would call a fine particle aspect to their filtration. They're great biological filters, and you can see there's just a little bit of cloud to the water, and that's fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter. There's nothing that's going to hurt any of the fish or anything. They all grow well. It's just, if that is something that you're interested in, this type of filtration system may not be good for you. The other big downside for under gravel filters is if you're going to use any kind of digging fish, a fish that's going to dig holes, nests like South American cichlids, that sort of thing, or Central American cichlids, African cichlids as well. If they're going to dig a nest, they could end up digging a hole where you end up creating a path of least resistance for the water to go through. So it doesn't go through all the media anymore, it just goes through the hole, and that can be a problem as well. And also because like those fish will have a large number of babies when they usually do that sort of thing, and all that's going to do is they're going to suck the babies up, and they're going to get spewed out all over the aquarium, and the parents are going to have to run around trying to take care of all that. So under gravel filters are probably not the best for if you're going to breed cichlids or anything else. It's just going to do an awful lot of digging. Now you can get around some of that by using like larger pieces of lava rock and whatnot. The next filter pretty much everybody uses. I mean, I have run across a few people who don't really care for them, but sponge filters are pretty much everywhere. I mean, lots of YouTubers use them. Their channels, so you can see them everywhere, and they have a lot of good qualities to them. They're very good fine particle filters. They're good biological filters. They are actually really probably one of the best filters for when you're raising baby fish, because there's just literally no way that a baby fish can get sucked into this. And also it's actually a good home for infusoria style bits and pieces of things like cyclopses, paramecia, all kinds of little things for baby fish to chew on, and also like small shrimp and whatnot. If you raise shrimp, you're going to always find them adhered to the surface of this, picking off various bits and pieces. I mean, they're excellent for all sorts of reasons. I don't use them much for clients or even in my fish room. The downside to them, as I found when I was running a lot of them, I would tend to have to run more than one, because whenever I cleaned one, it kind of had a bit of a hiccup in their ability to do the filtration for a little while, and I didn't really care for that part of it. And the other reason is I'd raised an awful lot of plecos, and I found some plecos, the bushy noses I have anyway, like to eat them. They chew the sponge down to almost nothing, and then of course you lose your filtration capability. But other than that, I mean, they're excellent filters. They're great for cichlids, livebearers, leg glares, whatever. It doesn't really matter. There's very few things that will actually disturb these. And like I said, they work really quite well, and they have very little in the way of downside, except, like I said, if you're going to run a tank with these, often you have to run more than one. That's about it. And like I said, I don't use them for clients very much, mostly because of aesthetics. They're actually fairly easy to hide because they're not too large, but there are better filtration systems for that sort of thing. The last filter I'm going to cover today are box filters. They've been around forever. When I first started keeping care of fish, they were quite common. They're still around today. They haven't really changed much in design, really. I mean, everyone every now and then tries to do something a little bit different, and even I've tried to put my own spin on it. But box filters are really quite good. That filter back there, by the way, is the first underground filter I set up. It feeds into a planter filter. I haven't cleaned it in any way, shape, or form. I've had to prune that many times, and it needs to be pruned again. But it just keeps on going. Box filters I like for a number of reasons, mostly because of their versatility. You can put any kind of media in it, and as a matter of fact, I have like at least 3 different kinds in my current selection that I'm trying out. I don't really find any downside to them. Well, besides having baby fish climb in them and have to get them out. If you design the filter properly, it's not too difficult to lift up the lid and let them swim out, which is what I tend to do, especially with this particular design here. The double wall is kind of nice that way. You can obviously make it so that they can't get in there at all by putting a better screen on the intakes, but from my perspective, it just ends up getting clogged up and you have to clean it, and I don't like to clean these things too often. I mean, it's designed so that all you have to do is pull out the batten, rinse that, and put it back in, and not actually disturb whatever biomedia you're using, which is really kind of nice. But I don't really want to do that as often. Well, actually, I don't want to do it at all. But you do have to clean it every now and then, so the least, the better, from my perspective. Now, there's going to be another media for this coming up shortly. Like I said, as far as this filter goes, there's no real, in a sense, of downside. There's no problem with African cichlids. There's no real problem with baby fish, except, of course, you having to let them out every now and then. They're very good mechanical filters. This particular one I've been running on this 7-foot tank. It is not obviously strong enough to run this when it's full, but currently it is actually doing quite a good job. It keeps the tank clean, keeps the tank clear, and the fish are very healthy and they're growing and all that sort of stuff. So it is a very good biological filter. This one has lava rock in it, and of course the filter batten. And I haven't cleaned it yet, which is actually not a surprise. It's only been running for I think about a month now. Actually, should probably just get to the point where it's cycled. The longest I've had the one running is now. Actually, I don't have to look up the videos to find out, but it's been running for quite a while. And I actually there's one I haven't cleaned yet. I've been letting it run. If you're wondering when to clean a box filter, when you just saw the bubbling up there, once you see that slow down, that is when it needs to be cleaned. And this is the thing I was telling you about earlier with the babies. This is where the issue might come in if that is a problem for you, is they tend to get in here. I let them out, and I mean that can be a bit of a nuisance if you don't want to spend time doing that. I don't do it that often. This is going to turn into a 2-hand job here shortly, so I'm gonna put the camera down and get them out of there, because, well, for their purpose, this is home and that's the big scary world out there, so they want to stay in here. But I'm gonna drop the camera here for a second and get them out. It's not hard at all. It took like maybe 30 seconds. And there you have it. That's my filter comparisons for internal filters. I mean, they're all good. I mean, I use them all. They're all here in my fish room. I do have preferences, but they are just mine. I mean, I have certain quirks as far as what I like to have in filter styles, and so will you. So try what you like and give everything a shot and let me know what you think. I mean, it's your fish room. So I just got the babies out. Here they're all gone. The neat thing about this part is you can see the current flow, which is kind of cool. And that's one of the things I really like about this style of filter. So thank you very much for watching. If you like the style of video, please like and or subscribe. And definitely let me know in the comments below what you think. And I'll see you in the next video, and bye for now.